calling all online business owners who feel like they are spending all their time creating content. If you have ever questioned how you can be present on different platforms or maximize your organic reach on social media without making content every minute of every day, or maybe you just want to save yourself some time on your content creation whilst growing your business, then this is the video for you. This week we're looking at why content recycling will help you grow your business, what content recycling is, and how you can use content recycling to grow your business, with a real example of me recycling one of my own pieces of content. If you enjoy this video, make sure to like so others can get to see this video too. Hit subscribe if you are loving what we're doing on this channel, and hit the bell to be notified of new videos that save you time, get you more leads and sales in your business, and get authority in your niche every single Tuesday. Hey, if we haven't met before, I'm Karen, and previously I was a parenting coach who got fed up of fighting to grow my Instagram channel. And be seen, I found myself spending all my time creating content and then having no time for my family, myself, and doing what I wanted to do. I felt tied to my computer, tied to my business, and to be honest, a full-time content creator. But when I discovered content recycling, this is where it all changed for me. I went from spending every spare minute working on content and my business to having more time for the things that actually brought income into my business and make content quickly for multiple platforms without the stress, and it's with a process so easy that my 12-year-old niece can follow it. So I'm well placed to explain content recycling to you and why you need content recycling built into your own social media strategy. Online business owners everywhere are being robbed of time for their business. And this is because they're producing individual pieces of content on a daily basis. They're not growing because they're spending all that time creating new content instead of looking at what they're being told about their existing content and capitalizing on it. And I know you're being told by professionals to be consistent, but does that really have to mean being consistent with brand new content every single day? By spending all that time producing new pieces of content, trying to sell your product, then you're actually stunting the growth of your business. We all want organic traffic, and that's the great thing about social media, right? And why we produce this content in the first place. We're chasing that organic traffic. But while you hold this belief that your content needs to be shiny and new every day, you are going to struggle to be present on these different platforms and get the business growth that you actually want. So what does your business need to grow? Well, it needs leads, sales, engagement, and time. Time to spend with potential clients, doing the things that turn them from followers into clients. And is creating new content daily getting you that? Isn't it more important to produce content that is working for you, that has a great reach and great engagement? So how do you grow your business and remain consistent on social media with this engaging content? Well, you recycle your content. Now you know that was coming, right? If you want to keep producing new content that you are not sure will work to get you great reach and engagement, or will actually be of interest to your audience, then carry on doing what you're doing. It's working for you. This video is not for you. But for those of you that want to recycle your previous content that has performed well so that you have more time for growing your business and you want to become that successful CEO you know you can be, I've made this video just for you. Make sure to give this video a like so that it can reach more people that need to start recycling their content too. What is content recycling? I'm sure you've heard of content repurposing, content recycling, and reusing content, but you may be asking, well, what's the difference? Are they not just all the same thing? So many people think that recycling content is the same as repurposing, which is the same as reposting. Now, I don't blame you. It's confusing. The words are similar, but let's just establish what we mean by each of these things here so we're all on the same page together. So let's get some definitions for each of these. So repurposing, taking content from one platform and then using it on an alternative platform. So you're just keeping that content in its current state, and then you're going to take it from its original purpose and then give it a different purpose. So an example of this would be me taking this YouTube video that I'm producing now and using clips of it for Reels, Shorts, TikToks, IGTV, Facebook videos or stories. And if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see this happening. So you're just keeping it the same and just using it for different platforms, like this or this. Whereas recycling is taking existing content and then making it into something else, like a new entity. And this is a bit like repurposing, but it's a little bit more laborious because you're not just putting it out somewhere else, you're actually adjusting it to make it different in some way. Like taking this post and then using the caption from this post to make this reel. And then reposting is taking that same piece of content and just putting it out again, just as it was, no adjustments. So putting out posts again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And they all have their own place in a social media strategy, all have their pros and cons. But this video is going to focus on recycling content. But if you want videos on repurposing or reposting, I've got you. I have a whole channel about those too, so you know what to do once this video is over, right? Now, you understand why I need to clarify, right? It's putting all the same content out again. And I get it. You're right to some degree. But what we're talking about here is serving your audience in the best possible way. And isn't that what we all want? To help people with our course, our coaching, our service, our free content. So I want to introduce you to the mere exposure effect. The mere exposure effect states that the more familiar we get with something, the more preference we have for it, if it resonates with us. So this doesn't mean that if we reject something and then we hear it again, we're gonna like it. No, that just annoys people. Let me give you an example from my own life. When my first baby was born, she was a terrible sleeper. And for some reason, I happened to notice that whenever the Justin Bieber song, What Do You Mean, came on the radio, in the car she would stop crying and go to sleep. And I tried to write this off as many other reasons, but in the end, I went with it. And I bought the album the next time I went shopping. So over time, I grew to like this song and even the album because I was driving, I would just let it play. But eventually it was too much and I would dread having to hear it again. Even to this day, if it comes on the radio, I'm just like, oh my God, please not again. But it took so much longer than I expected it to. Like when I actually bought that album, I was thinking, oh my God, I'm going to be so sick of this song. I'm going to be hearing it all the time. But this is what the mere exposure effect states. And this isn't me being crazy, as common as that is. So the more you're exposed to something, the more you like it until you hit this saturation point, and then it turns into a dislike. And in a marketing study, this had to happen around 30 times. So you had to be exposed to it 30 times if you want your people to adopt your message and the information you're giving them. You need to be repetitive. When you vary the delivery method of that message, so it's not exactly the same every time, people can tolerate hearing it more than the 30 times. This is why growing your business using content recycling works. When you recycle your content, you're giving your clients the same message in alternative formats. So they become familiar with your message and what you stand for. If you really want to grow your business on social media, get more leads, more sales, and more time for your business, then you need the mere exposure effect working in your favour. And can you see why, when you're not recycling content, and you are delivering this new content every day that may not be consistent with its message, your business may not grow as fast? What do you think about the mere exposure effect? Let me know in the comments below. So how do you recycle your content? Well, a big mistake I see a lot is checking the likes on a post to see if it's a good piece of content to recycle. And I know for so long that we've seen likes as this measure of how well our content is actually doing. So it's easy to think that way, but my God, we don't need to be following that anymore. But when you rely on likes to decide which content to repurpose, you end up picking pieces that may not actually be the best performing piece of content that will get you in front of the maximum number of people. And isn't that what we want? To be in front of more people? To be seen by more people?
Here we are in my insights, guys, where you always find me. So you can see that I've got this post. The top one is about engaging content and your ideal client. But then the next two are thumbnails about my YouTube videos. And then what I want to show you is the reach. So the reach is the number of people who that post has actually been in front of. So you can see, yes, the engaging content one that was also top of my likes is also top of my reach, but the YouTube thumbnails, one of them is in the top 6, but the other one is right down here in the 3, 6, 9, 12, in the top 15.
So this means although people liked them more, they weren't shown to as many people as the posts that had the most reach. So when I'm selecting a post to recycle, I choose the one that has the most reach because these posts have more of a variety of different engagements. It may mean that people have saved them or shared them, liked them or commented on them. And as a result, Instagram has worked out that these are going to be of interest to even more people and pushes it out even further. If you want your post seen by more people and getting more eyes on your content, I would recommend choosing to recycle posts that have the most reach. Because I know that you know more eyes on your content is more potential clients seeing your content, and you want to grow your business. So you want more engagement, leads and sales from your content. So get it in front of more people. Once you have your chosen content piece with good reach, we are going to recycle it. Whatever piece of content performed well for you, you want to extract the message of that. And then you're going to use that in a different format. So I'm going to take that post, turn it into a carousel, a reel and a story. So I've got my screenshots of my posts that have got my good reach, and I've opened Canva. If you don't have Canva, you can get a free plan. You just need to register. And then I'm just going to search for carousel in here and see what comes up. So Canva has a lot of templates built in already. You'll just have to see what's available to you. Like I said, I've got the pro plan, so I might have other templates that you don't have access to, but there will be some available on the free plan. And then all I've done is adjusted it into my brand colours, put my graphics in, and I'm using the text from the caption to complete the text in the carousel. Okay, and there we have it. So you have a post that we have turned into a carousel. And to go one step further with this, what I could also do is then go into this section here and click on Instagram story and Instagram Reels video. I'm going to click copy and resize. I'm just going to kind of adjust them just to make them right for what we want them for. So remember that your Reels, this section will appear when it's shown in your feed, but this outside bit won't. So if you've got any text appearing, anything like that, you will not want that in there. So what I would do then is take out these kind of things. Now take out all these bits, to be honest. What I'm going to do is go into the video section of here, and then I'm just going to search for some stock video that I think would work well. I've just sped this part up for you because all I've done is put the video into the background, and then I've adjusted the length of the video so it's no more than 3 seconds for a slide. And then I have gone in and just adjusted those purple boxes to make them so that they are within the size of the central part of that video. So you'll see that in some of these slides, what I'm doing is I'm putting this green box onto it, and I'm just lining that up centrally because that green box is where the video will sit, like there now. And I want to make sure that when it's a preview on my feed that people can see it. So that green box just gives me an indicator of the kind of spacing I can use. And then I have produced a reel from the same content that I've used within the carousel, but it looks nothing like the carousel. For the story, I'm just adjusting all of the
backgrounds, removing the page numbers, just so that when it goes in as a story, it looks like it is a story and not just a converted carousel. And I'll also change the call to action, because when we're talking to people in a story, we're not talking to the same people, because the call to action on our carousel is going out to people who we've never met before. So our call to action is going to be different. Whereas with a story, it's going out to people who are already following us. So if I've got a call to action saying, follow me, well, they're already following me. It's a waste. So actually in this, what I'm going to say is make sure to register for the free training where you can learn how to do this. So it's a natural progression from what we were looking at earlier. So first up, we've got the reel. And then we've got our carousel. And lastly, our story. So that's 3 pieces of content made just from one post and caption that we found that has got high reach.
One last thing I want to cover before we close this video out. If you are asking how this grows your business, because you are not getting leads and sales from your content right now, then you need to evaluate how you move people along from being a follower to actually becoming customers. Because without that process in place, the content isn't going to help you. If you want some help with this, register for the next free live training. The link's in the description below. If you want to grow your business with content, you need to reclaim your time from content creation by recycling your content. You need to repeat your message that your ideal client needs to hear so it becomes familiar to them. And you need to choose content with the most reach to recycle. If you have found this helpful, then make sure to hit the like button so more people can benefit from this information. And if you want to see more videos like this that help you get more leads, sales and engagement and time for your online business, then hit subscribe and the bell to be notified of new videos every Tuesday. Make sure to check out these other videos that can help you grow your business too.